Come with me on a trip into angling adventure. We'll ride the ragged edge where the fish are big and wild. From the fabled Walker's Cay, we'll travel to the loneliest oceans and the farthest rivers in search of the best light tackle action. And we'll burn the stories into the memory of film on the Walker's Cay Chronicles. For 4 years, my old fly fishing buddy Dave Whitlock had been trying to get me to come to this adventure. He promised me an unforgettable experience in an unexpected place for America's least likely game fish. He claimed that in the upper Midwest, there existed flats extending for miles that were as picturesque as anything in Florida, and that cruising these shallows in mid to late summer, you would find the freshwater equivalent of giant bonefish. These big-shouldered fellows averaged 16 to 18 pounds, and some would go over 30. They're extremely challenging to hook up, but when they're on, they run like bones on steroids and give a fight unmatched in fresh water. And so it was that I found myself in mid-July traveling the shores of Lake Michigan with the white-haired gentleman from Arkansas on our way to search for the golden ghosts, the carp of the American Great Lakes.
How's this looking to you, Dave?
It looks ideal. Perfect water right here.
It's just hard to believe. If this ain't the Florida Keys,
Yeah.
I don't know what is.
I think it's better. It's clear, fresh water, man, and the big fish are bigger.
Just go down toward that far point, Dave, you think?
Yeah, just stay out, just about this distance. I think they're going to be in this 1 to 3 foot of water. Yeah. Boy, the visibility is incredible right now.
It's just, I mean, it's like the Bahamas.
Man, in search of the golden ghost, we won't have to search very long here, I'll tell you.
As I surveyed the flats, I couldn't believe we were just a short distance from Canada. I knew the drill. I'd stalked bonefish for years, but Dave assured me that these carp were tougher, much tougher. He described them as being about as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. He also explained that of the many carp we would see, only a few would be actively feeding. That is, rooting along the bottom, trying to flush crayfish. Only these fish would bite, and only if we could place the fly within a couple of feet of their noses. But most importantly, Dave explained that when all went well, these fish would run faster and longer than any bonefish.
Dave, you know what those fish look like? I mean it. They look just like a string of tarpon coming down a bank in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, they sure did.
Feel like I'm home, man.
Well, it sure looks just like the Keys.
Okay, take a look at 1130, just about 40 yards. We got a fish there.
It sure looks like one.
Yes, it is. It definitely is.
It sure looks like one.
Hold on a second. Let me just.
Okay, just,
All right, you're clear any time now.
all right, okay. That's a long cast. You know, it looks like he's tailing a little bit there.
Ooh, man, what a perfect cast. Gonna touch the bottom of these rocks. Ooh, turned on it. He likes that, Dave.
He's following it.
Beautiful work,
All
Dave.
right. Isn't that neat? Good
My
spot.
goodness.
Now that's the way it's supposed to work.
What
Isn't that pretty?
What a high degree of difficulty that thing is.
You didn't know he hooked yet. He said, I cannot believe there's something that dangerous out in this open, flat water. Now he's going to go. There he goes. Goodbye. That's a good fish, too.
A good fish. As
Really a
opposed-
nice fish.
As opposed to what?
Well, big, big.
Bad fish.
Big. He's going to go to find some deep water, I bet.
You want to get after this fish? I mean, really pull after him hard?
Well, if you don't want to have to spend a half hour out here me reeling on this line, yeah, help me out, boy. Take
All
off.
right.
Don't
All
drop
right,
the
you
line.
hang on, because we're going
He
after
still
this
takes the
fish.
line out. Now he's kind of cut back the other way now. He's kind of catch up with the fish here. Slow down just a little bit. But no, we can just kind of hang here. I'll fight him off this. Boy, this water is so clear you can see every scale on his body. Look, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. All right. He's about ready to come in. I'll get out on these old knees here and get him out. Ha. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Oh, look at that gold in the water. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
That big guy, open your mouth up. Oh. Boy, that's a good boy. Man, what a beautiful thing. Look at this guy. A long, gorgeous fish. Big old yellow red fin. Oh, there he goes. Boy, he was ready to go. Man, after all that fight, he still had enough to zoom away. That's a golden ghost, man, at its best.
That was a pretty good job of fishing, Dave. You know, you'd think that it would be easy to catch these things. From this vantage point, watching everything that's happening and all the things that make it difficult, I would rate that, and I mean this, I would rate that as one of the real top fly rod challenges in terms of degree of difficulty.
They are. They are, as far as I'm concerned.
To make that fly intersect with that fish's area of awareness and make it all happen.
You can't cast a long distance and let it sink and let them come to it. You've got to cast very close to them, so that means a soft, accurate cast. Putting that food in their window, it takes a lot of
That's tough.
good boat handling and really good
Can
casting.
you do that again, Dave?
Well, if you let me rest a minute.
Well, let me see.
What is that there on the bank?
Those were gansers?
You know, I believe so. I think it's an American gander hen. Look at that. Aren't they the cutest things you ever saw?
Got a wad of babies.
They're so neat.
Oh, look at us. There he goes. You know, Dave, I'll bet you that the fish hear every bit of this noise that the pole is making.
Well, you know, this is all hard limestone bottom along here, and it's just impossible, that metal tip pole, to keep quiet, you know. The carp have got great ears, and they got a good lateral line, and they have another sensing organ, so they can really pick up on the sound.
What would happen if we just waited?
Well, you know, that's what I'd suggest. I think that we can get up on them a lot better. We can also just kind of stand still and let them come by us.
We dismounted our skiff and headed out across the flats. And except for the coolness of my calves, I couldn't have felt more at home. It's been said that luck is the residue of good design. And so it was by that great design of having a lifetime of experience and then having Dave bring me to this beautiful place and put me onto an approaching pod of muscle-bound carp that I had an extremely lucky first encounter with my new friends.
Good cat. There you got him. There you go, man. Cool. Yeah. Fish on. Isn't that neat? Look at that wake. Look at him wake. He's a good fish. Limestone rocks are pretty catchy to get shot very high.
Oh, is that ever? That was so fabulous.
What did I tell you, man? It's worth the drive, isn't it?
I mean, he's not even thinking about slowing down.
Well, when they're on these flats, boy, they go.
I hope I have enough string here. Honest to goodness, I mean, this is like silly. This is like gonna be here a while.
Start walking that way at least. Over the horizon. I think he's out there about to that island now.
Speaking of those islands, you know something? I look out at those islands right there. This could be flamingo in the Everglades.
That's why I say if I dropped you in here sometime and just blindfolded, you would have no idea what it just has the sound and the feel and the smell of a good bonefish flat. Man, he took off on you, man.
That was so fabulous. I mean, it's so much like bone fishing. So much like bone fishing.
Well, the nice thing about it is that you can, you know, if you can't get to that kind of water, this water is so handy for people, you know. Here, it's right in the center of the United States. And I just fell in love with these fish. When I'm out here like this, I get so much kick out of them, you know, because when you hook one, it's a real victory, you know. But you saw how much quieter we can be waiting. How much closer we can get to them waiting.
You're absolutely right.
Look at the size of that thing. God, that's a nice big fish.
This is bigger than, much bigger than I thought he was.
It's been a 4-year campaign to get you up here. I bet you wished you'd been here a little sooner now.
I sure do, and you know what? I'll be back. This is...
Well, old George Von Schrader showed me these places, you know. To me, he's my guru of carp fishing. he would pass up any other kind of fishing to fish for these carp on the flat. Okay. What a fish.
I had no idea he was that big. Dave.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I just had
I
no
did.
idea.
Well, when you were casting to him, he didn't look that big, but the minute you hooked him, well, take one more big look at your friend. Goodbye, big guy.
Dave.
Yay, congratulations.
Oh,
You
get
son of
out
a
of
gun.
here. Come on, that was so good. Oh,
Yeah.
boy, oh,
Yeah.
boy.
You done good. That's wonderful. Carpe diem. That's the best thing I can say. It's carpe diem. Hey, Flip, you got a minute? You know that fly I tied you? I said it looked like a crawfish?
Yeah.
Let me show you what they imitate here. I'm going to try to see if I can slip up on one here. Yeah, there's one. Got it. Got it. Oh, you almost got away. You're here. See, this is a kind of a little olive blue tan crayfish. It's just the color of the bottom. We have that fly that I tied you and then kept this carp on. See, it's the same general color, and it's got antenna and pinchers here. And it's the same shape,
man.
color.
Let me see them in the water together.
Okay, look, see how the claws on both of them go out and the antenna come up?
That's amazing.
They crawl forward normally, but when something gets at them, they swim backwards with their claws facing them.
Dave, I would love for you to show me how to tie this fly, because I got a feeling this thing will work for permit, bonefish, and everything under the sun. I bet you would.
I had a friend who got a grand slam on one of those like that.
Would you teach me how to tie one of these days?
Well, I don't know. What do you have to offer?
I'll pull you around for carp.
Oh, that's cool. That you got it made. That's a good deal.
Dave, are these lead eyes?
Yeah, they're lead. That gives it the weight.
No, but I've just never seen them gray like that.
Well, I paint them that color to match that crawfish's body.
Okay,
Otherwise,
I
they're
got
kind of a dark lead color.
I guess.
The next thing, I'm just going to take this feather, and it's a soft tackle, and I'm just going to wrap that around and forward like this about 3 or 4 times, and that'll simulate those 4 sets of crayfish legs. And I call this near enough crayfish because it looks near enough like a crawfish to be one, but it's not anatomically correct appendage-wise. Just cut that off. I want to show you something really neat. I'm going to take this Zap-A-Gap, which is a waterproof super glue. I'm going to finish this off by just taking and wetting about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of this thread with that. Just beat it like that a little bit, and just take and wrap that around the same spot 4 or 5 times, like that, and just hold it for about 4 or 5 seconds and cut it. That's all you have to do.
You don't have to use any kind of a whip finish on this?
You can do a whip finish if you want, but that's so much easier and quicker. It won't come apart. None of those flies that I've tied you've been fishing with come apart.
No,
They
sir.
were all done that way.
That's amazing.
There's the fly I promised you and showed you how to tie it. Now you have to pay the piper. You have to go pull me.
Through the years, Dave Whitlock has come up with some of the most innovative flies to ever see the inside of a fish's mouth. So I was more than happy to pull Dave for another round with the Golden Ghosts.
That's what makes them such great game fish. You just can't be clumsy with them, you know?
The flat Dave directed me to was teeming with carp as a storm of gulls brewed over a nearby island. This crossroad where the elements collided in an explosion of life left me grateful, as always, for the chance to go on these adventures.
Hey, Dave, see that area of mud
Yeah.
right over there?
Yeah.
There's about 50 carp in there. I can see them clear as day.
Wow.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That was a good cast. Very good
Got
cast.
it. Got it. Oh, what a fish. Good spot. Good
Dave,
spot.
that was such a perfect cast, man.
Yeah, well, let's pat each other really hard on the back on this baby. He doesn't know it's up yet. That's the thing about really big fish and a little light tackle. There he goes. Look at him go, man. He's cutting off his He knows a better place to go. Over the horizon. Good spot. That was cool. See, when you get them, find them relaxed, how easy they are, they'll eat, boy. They're you know, having fished for them for so many years, you just know, when they know you're here, they put up a good act like they don't see you, you know.
You think that's an act, huh?
Well, they see you, believe me.
Oh, I believe you. There isn't anything you could tell me about carp that I'm not going to believe. Boy, there is a whole lot going on here.
There's so much dynamics here, so much life. I love it. I tell you, you're missing all the hard work being up on that platform, having to slave over this fly rod and land these big monsters. Look here. Pretty? Ready to go, big guy? All right, here we go. Let's see after a while.
Dave, look at the island. Look what's going on over there.
Oh, I know, it's a happening. It's a coming. What do they call those, aviaries or
Are they nesting?
rookeries? Or a little bit of both. I think they nest. At this time of the year, I think they've got most of the young ones done. You know, the only thing that there's more of out here are carp than those gulls.
We turned our attention back to carp, and as the sun traced its migration route west, my friend Dave and I were honored by a few more takers. Dave explained that the fish from the Great Lakes are stronger than most carp. They're like steelhead compared to trout. They're essentially ocean-run carp. He also told me that in Europe, carp are more valued than trout, that some individual fish have been given names, and some are even insured. And when caught, they're always returned to the stream. Apparently, carp got a bad rap here when overfishing started to decimate other game fish stocks. But the wary and very adaptable carp didn't decline. It's only in this country that some consider carp undesirable. This is about as far from the truth as I was from the Bahamas. The fish we caught and released were all very challenging, very big, and I've never had my reel scream so loud for so long in fresh water. And they are truly one of the great fly rod challenges to be had. Happy but exhausted, we released the last fish. I was sad to see the adventure come to an end, but I was very grateful to know that this beautiful place, so unexpected but so very familiar, would be here for me when I returned, and I did plan to return, just as many summers as I had in me, to stalk the golden ghosts of Lake Michigan.